This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks face off against Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they enter play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A first carry now for the former Viking. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Black 80, white 20.
On play action, now Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
To be considered for the MVP award in the NFL, it's got to be a season of not just consistency, but spectacular consistency, and he's had it all the way through.
I think you're right. He's been as consistent, more consistent probably than anybody else as the numbers bear out. And the social media chatter for the MVP races certainly start to ramp up. I know you and I have felt that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Right now, he's in the pole position as we head down the stretch.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The former Seahawk and former Super Bowl MVP, Malcolm Smith. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Wilson buying time to his left. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 45 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7th. Now Wilson, eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they'll throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Deep ball for Goodwin. That's caught inside the 20. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Quarterback Shaquille Griffin had a nice rookie year in large part because he was never intimidated. And that came from Richard Sherman, who tutored him in 2017 and said he noticed that early about the young guy, and they just turned him loose.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be out of bounds. Garoppolo to his tight end, Kittle, for a Niner first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. They'll try and power it in with Juszczyk. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays, exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
There's Garoppolo to throw, and that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Gold is able to put it through. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit. But having to realize that at that moment, Getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your ball.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play there for Seattle. 42 yards. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They go play action now. Wilson dancing to his left. And this is caught at the 8. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. They go play action with Wilson. Out to his left. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now McKinnon to start the drive. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coach was always saying, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
You know, has to be really happy after that play. The offensive line. To be able to create space in that situation when everything's jammed in and everyone knows you're going to run it, that's a big time play.
Because you're probably just thinking, hey, let's get to the 4 or 5 and get some breathing room, right?
That's all you're asking for. That's all your punter's asking for. Instead, he's not necessary now.
And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
They run it with McKinnon. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Like 80! Like 20!
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they have little chance of winning this one.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Tennessee offense making their way out onto the field as you take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And you can see where they sit, perched right at the top. The question, Charles, with a perfect season they have going, what's on the line, how do you see them playing it out these final few weeks of the season?
So I can see the locker room voting unanimously to play to win. That's how they're built. It doesn't matter whether you're 0-whatever or undefeated. You want to play every game to win it. But I think from a management and coaching standpoint, you're looking at it and saying how much pressure is on this team to try and keep that record going, and is that really our ultimate goal? They're almost hoping maybe they get beat, and now you can start to rest guys and take the pressure off and just get ready for the playoffs.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Flush to his right. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I like the design of that play, or shall I say the way it ended up. Quarterback ends up to the right side. You know, gets outside of the pocket. How about the tight end staying in his sight line and getting to that same part of the field? And they find each other for the completion.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
There's just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back with more after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Now Garoppolo throwing on second. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Right there in coverage, the veteran Cam Chancellor.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Play action. It's Wilson rolling to his right. Now on the run. It's caught inside the 25. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. They give him a gain of 37.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Steps away to his left. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Will Dissly with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. Out to kick is Janikowski. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. The 49ers moving hastily. They're scurrying to the line. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? First man through. It's the fullback Juszczyk. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the 1st half. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returnable for Lockett. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target. And now it's 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. A final shot before break. Wilson steps away. It's caught inside the 25. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was the Falcons who were able to pick up the victory at home. Matt Ryan leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, it's up to New Era Field in Orchard Park to check on the Bills. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Detroit Lions. Matthew Stafford, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. Tom Brady with a touchdown pass there. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Now a play fake here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Flushed out right. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. And they move this all the way down to the 9. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Here's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Nick Vannett, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Janikowski good with the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base,
pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jaron Reed in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Garoppolo looks to throw. Airing it deep for Garcon. They got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays,
21.
not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Hey, 20! 180!
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Here we go. 180!
Here's McKinnon, and he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
It's caught right side, Dixon. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
Hey. Four down.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And this one is incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Here's Wilson to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up.
There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Well, he scrambled outside of the pocket, wondered what was going to happen there. He fired a dart. That's what happened.
He certainly did. Scrambled left, looked left, and then left it in the receiver's hands with some dispatch.
In the receiver's hands, in the end zone for the score. Out to kick is Janikowski. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jerick McKinnon there. That'll bring up second down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jaron Reed in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Doug Baldwin and company getting ready to go again on offense. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end.
It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And that one results in 35 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
It's not a great revelation to say that it's going to take a lot to replace what Jimmy Graham gave this club from the tight end position, especially in the red zone. But that had to be an encouraging sight for Russell Wilson right there as he finds one of his replacements for the touchdown.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough. Because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Now McKinnon. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here we go.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play.
We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle to Garcon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Niner first down. Garoppolo to Garcon. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're right on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot. Of angles.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Tight end right. Here we go. It is.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning a move.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Frank Clark in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
21.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe. And he's going to go down again. Frank Clark in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now. 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. It's caught at the 10. And all the way down to the 9. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 42 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Janikowski adds the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Garoppolo to try again on second down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. Past the 20. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Penny, a first down carry. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Everyone's got 4 down.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They keep it with Penny on 1st down. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And incomplete on the deep ball. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Over the middle to Kittle, complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Malik McDowell in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon. On second down, here's Garoppolo. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions. It nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes he just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Sometimes it's just not your day. Here's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And Gold is able to put it through, and they'll make a small dent in that big deficit as it's down to 27. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
19. And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
And they'll run it again with Penny, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Niners, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home
you.